Take two. All right, here we go. My very first YouTube live. So the topic, how much do you make per hour? What I'd like for you to do, I'd like you to write down how much you make per hour. And I've noticed something looking back and connecting the dots. So for example, the people that I run with either make around 50 or 60,000, or they're making about 120,000. Now, typically the person making 60,000 works a job. The person working 100, making 120,000 is either corporate or they're a newer agent. So if you're making $120,000 a year, you divide that by 2, and you typically make about $60 an hour. Now, think about how different your world would be if you made $60 an hour for every hour of the day versus just the hours that you're trading dollars for hours. 10 years ago, I realized that all I did was I traded dollars for hours. Meaning if I stopped showing up, I stopped making money. So 10 years ago, I made the decision that I was going to lean into it, and this wouldn't be my reality forever. So what I did was the hours that I wasn't working in trading dollars for hours, I started to use that time differently. For example, many people, when they trade dollars for hours, are like, I can't wait for the weekend. Woohoo, TGIF. You know what I'm talking about. They've watched every Netflix series. Hey, what should I Netflix on next? Or what should I binge on? Or there's the person that when they're not working, they're developing a skill. They're reading books. They're figuring out how to fix gaps. They're working on a side hustle. Now think about the compounding effect of that. If you're making $60 an hour right now, trading dollars for hours, if you use the hours outside that you're not getting paid on to move yourself closer to someone who makes $60 every hour of the day, 5 to 10 years from now, I believe that you can. You know why? I'm that guy. 10 years ago, I was making just over $100,000, give or take. And so 10 years ago, I made a decision that I was going to lean into things like digital marketing, like active passive income, coaching, all these things, which for 3, 4, 5 years, nothing was coming to fruition. All I was doing was spending money on it, spending time on it that I could have been trading dollars for hours. See, I believe the difference between making $60 per hour on your back and making $60 per hour of every day is right here. The challenge is this: the payoff usually doesn't come for 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years. You might not see any progress at all, but you look back and you realize how much progress you have. So do me a favor. Make different decisions on what you're doing with your hours outside of what you're using for dollars per hours. Ask yourself this question. Is this the same decision that somebody making $60 per hour of the day would make? You start changing your questions. You start changing what you're doing outside of the dollars that you're earning, and I bet your dollars per hour of the day changes. In fact, do the math on that right now. If we look at the math of $60 per hour every hour of the day, bear with me, 60 times 24 equals 1440. 1440 times 365, that's $525,000. If you go from making $100,000 to making $525,000, does your world change? It absolutely does. How do I know this? Because 10 years ago, I was making about $60 an hour for the dollars per hours that I traded. Now I make over $60 an hour for every hour of the day, whether I'm working or not working. The difference is right here. I'm going to encourage you to invest in yourself. I'm going to encourage you to go read books, go listen to books. Go make bets on yourself. Go fill gaps, knowing that the rewards might be 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the road. This is a journey, not a destination. Anyways, first YouTube live. We'll see where this goes. I see that 2 people actually watched it, so progress, not perfection.